much as say 48 hours from now, but they're expecting bad weather there
بس
at the
ايه
port as
بس
Milton
بعد
moves
انه
through. So
ياكل
the key takeaway for officials, they're saying if you have a cruise coming up over the next few days or even into next weekend, you will want to stay in close contact with your cruise line. Guys?
Some good advice there. I think the bottom line is if you're planning on flying or jumping on a ship or any mode of transportation, check with those individual companies. From Orange County all the way to Volusia, we know last minute preparations are underway as we speak.
Yeah, so many people are trying to take advantage of this relative calm before the storm. I hate to use a cliche, but this is the time to do
before
that
the
storm
storm.
prep as we keep an eye on this
Wow,
system
look
that
where Orlando is.
keeps churning there in the
Look
Gulf
at that.
as it makes its way closer and closer to Florida. We'll have the
It
latest
turns
on
right
this
through into
tragic
Orlando.
impacts that we could feel here in Central Florida coming up.
This is crazy.
When I saw the tumor on the MRI, my first thought was, am I going to be able to see my daughter again? The doctors knew if I did not end my pregnancy, I would lose my baby, I would lose my life, and my daughter would lose her mom. Florida has now banned abortion, even in cases like mine. Amendment 4 is going to protect women like me. We have to vote yes.
Allergies aren't fun for anyone, especially when they work their way into your home. A professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer can dramatically improve indoor air quality and significantly reduce indoor allergens. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
We had a client who tried to handle her case on her own. Her insurance company offered her nothing. She then hired us, and we got her $3 million. Hiring a trial attorney can help you fight for the compensation you deserve. Choose Bogan Munz & Munz.
Hollow Scream has resurfaced at SeaWorld Orlando with 12 haunts, including 4 all-new haunted houses, 3 all-new scare zones, and coasters of the dark. Get tickets for as low as $49.99.
An injured worker left me a message that said, "You probably won't call me back. I'm just a nobody." I called him right back.
Yeah, nobody. Big fat man.
Murder charges. Moses is accused.
So that a 1-minute call to Attorney Dan Newland really. Dan got me $980,000.
Hi, I'm Attorney Dan Newland. Winning $980,000 for Wayne was a great honor. And in a 1-minute call to my office, I can start working to win big for you, too. Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 407-888-8000. That's 407-888-8000.
Dan, my family and I are eternally.
From Wesh 2, this is continuing coverage of Milton.
We were talking earlier about the evacuation orders that are in place along the west coast of Florida. Most of Central Florida, we do not have those evacuation orders in place, but parts of our coastal communities do.
We want to take it over to Volusia County now, where West 2 Rodriguez is joining us. How are the waves out there?
That's straight. Unique name.
Hey guys, so it is a bit windy.
Oh,
You
no
can hear
wonder.
the waves
Look at this
crashing
fella.
behind me as I step out. You'll see
Big
those white
glorious.
caps, and look at that high tide. Just note that this surge is going to pick up as the hours go on. So I know it's cliche, but really this is the calm before the storm, and hopefully that person you see there by the water, hopefully they are no longer there by tomorrow, and that everyone in this area evacuates, because the county has placed an evacuation order that begins tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So they're just telling people, anyone in the campsites, mobile homes, any low-lying areas where it's prone to flooding, people on the barrier island, you all should leave by tomorrow morning. And there are several shelters available to you. The general population can stay at the fairgrounds, and then there are some schools that are operating as shelters as well. And then some options for people with special needs. And also, starting tomorrow night, there will be a curfew. They're trying to discourage people from coming outside and making sure they stay indoors while we ride out this storm. They don't want to see any traffic out on the roads, and they hope to lift this curfew by 8 o'clock Thursday morning. And there are a number of sandbag locations as well, and I'm sure people are out there taking full advantage since they have the time now, because today really is the last chance for people to make those final last-minute preparations before landfall. Reporting live in Volusia County, Seneca Rodriguez.
All right, the governor was also
Yeah,
talking
because
about some of the preparations that the state has been doing
Yeah,
to
Ryan
help
has
some of the
name.
local counties, the impacted path of this storm as well.
Yeah, and we know he's declared a state of emergency for 51 of our counties. He also talked about all of the fuel shipments that were coming into the state to help
Volusia
replenish
County,
the gas stations, which we know have been incredibly busy.
Vertical
And there is more gas en
evacuation
route.
order.
Now, there is no fuel shortage. Fuel continues to
a good
arrive
thing.
in the state of Florida by
Okay,
port
sure.
and what we're doing to bring it in on the ground. But lines at gas stations have been long. Gas stations are running out quicker than they otherwise would. And so that is causing the state of Florida to help assist with the mission.
I was telling you guys earlier, I went to get some gas yesterday, and I waited for 24 minutes, which I can't complain about
Wow.
because I've seen videos from other
So
parts of
long wait.
the Orlando area where people were waiting much longer than that. But today's the day to do
I got
that.
about,
It's a relief that we do have the
a
resources.
little bit more than
It
half
just might
tank
take
in
a little
my
finagling and,
van.
try
That's
to do different neighborhoods. Yeah.
But it's nice to see everybody is heeding the warnings. They're taking a look at the storm and the rapid intensification that we saw yesterday, and they're doing what needs to be done
yes,
to
okay,
keep their
okay.
families safe. But into today, we know that we're going to learn a lot more about
The
this
news I'm
storm.
thinking,
And what did we just learn during the 8 a.m. advisory?
Yes, so the advisories were upgraded. So all of Central Florida is now under hurricane warnings, meaning hurricane conditions are expected for all of Central Florida. But today, while the intent is down just a little bit, that is absolutely no way, shape, or form a moment of relief, unfortunately, because we think that it's just a temporary kind of sigh in intensity.
Yeah, so yesterday we were talking about a borderline record-setting Category 5, right? We saw the rapid intensification with wind speeds up to 180 miles per hour. When it makes landfall, it's going to be a strong Cat 3, maybe even a Cat 4, so still going to be immense impacts widespread all throughout the state, so you can't take your eye off the ball. Just because it's downgraded a tiny bit, the impacts are going to be monumental.
When do you see the re-strengthening into account that's potentially happening?
We think it's probably starting right now. This is kind of 1 minute by 1 minute satellite data. The Go 16 generation of satellites has been just wonderful. And it gives us a chance to really watch to see when Milton wants to clear out that eye. But at this point in time, hurricane hunters are inside. There are 2 missions squiggling through the thing, and they're finding that the pressure is holding firm about here, about 929 millibars. So for now, it has not gotten stronger. But I would venture a guess as to now that the sun is up, it has an opportunity to kind of clear out that eye, we will see some re-strengthening. So it should become a Category 5. Then we think as it approaches Florida, there's a cold front north, that should kind of force a little bit of wind shear in and bring it back down to, as Marquise had mentioned, that Category 3/Category 4 at Lakefall. And if you're waking up wondering if the cone looks any different than when you went to bed, I'm happy to report that while it has gotten smaller, just because we've gotten closer in time, the actual landfall point from last night's 11 o'clock advisory to this morning's 5 a.m. advisory is basically the same. There was no shift, and there's been such a little shift for the last 24 hours time. So we're locking in this forecast as best as we can. 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning about this time, it'll be about Beam, Fort Myers, then getting close and close and close to the Sun Coast. By about 9 o'clock, that eye wall coming ashore from Sarasota, Bradenton, up through about Tampa Bay, Pinellas County, and the core of the winds working through our area by about 3, 4, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. In terms of the threats, we're expecting several tornadoes around Central Florida, and unfortunately, flooding is becoming a bigger and bigger concern. Take a look at the global models, the European on the left, the GFS on the right, both showing these shades of red. So we're looking at anywhere from a half a foot to a foot of rain, looking at tomorrow and Thursday. So that is certainly a growing concern. But when we take a look at the storm as a whole, we've got wind, we've got tornadoes, we've got rain. Let's kind of look at the forest through the trees, Marquise.
Yes, Eric, this storm is going to be a beast. much different from what we've seen with Helene just a week and a half ago, where Helene
That's
broke
different from
parallel to the
Helene.
Gulf Coast, and we didn't see these monumental impacts inland. Now with Milton moving across the I-4 corridor and basically running parallel to it, will bring in the rain showers, will bring in the severe weather risk, and we are certainly going to bring the chance for flooding across our inland communities as well. Even the chance for some coastal surge on the back end of Milton, on the eastern side of Florida. That coastal flooding could be anywhere between 3 to 5 feet. But I think the primary impacts that we're focused on
3 to
across
5
central
feet.
Florida will be the wind and also the
Coastal
chance for
flooding.
flooding. Our northernmost communities can see anywhere between 8 and 12 inches of precipitation, but the winds start to pick up early out the door on Wednesday morning. You'll feel that breeze. Tropical storm force winds are going to be predicted for Wednesday afternoon, and then we get into that hurricane category overnight Wednesday and then into Thursday. So we take you hour by hour on Futurecast. Here we are in Polk County with gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour. That puts you in that tropical storm force wind field. And this is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday, so you want to make sure the preparation is done before the winds start to pick up. As we take you further in time now, 50-mile-per-hour conditions across parts of Polk County, Claremont. 45 to 50 mile per hour winds late on Wednesday night. We have that landfall overnight Wednesday into Thursday. And check this out, wind speeds are nearly 90 miles per hour across parts of Polk County. So the closer you get to this eye, the faster the winds are going to be. And these are hurricane force strength winds still well after landfall. And even as Milton pushes off into the Atlantic, you see our northern communities now getting on the action with winds gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour. And that will certainly increase the rough surf and the storm surge for parts of Flagler, also in Volusia County, where we have those storm surge warnings in effect. So as we take you through your timeline here, squall starts to increase on Wednesday afternoon. We talked about those tropical storm force winds. Overnight hurricane force conditions are going to be expected. And then into the day on Thursday, we're tracking that eye moving just south of the I-4 corridor, increasing wind speeds all across central Florida, and the chance for some heavier rain to our north. We'll take a look at our tower cam. Looks like the showers have stopped in Volusia County for the moment. We'll see those off and on again chances for precipitation with an east coast breeze. Not much going on right now, just a couple lighter rain showers out towards Astor. So the rain came to an end in Daytona Beach, but we'll see the opportunity for more showers coming up. Ultimately, though, today, pockets of heavy rain will be back, and we'll have much more extensive rain, strong gusty winds, and a chance for severe weather, with Milton making landfall Wednesday and overnight into Thursday before we start to clear out over the course of the weekend. But stay with us. We've got much more news coming your way right after the break.
That's it.
I was involved in a bad